The verdict is in. Today, Dane Riley was found guilty for the murder of his cousin, Mark Huseman. A Cass County jury convicted Riley on 3 counts for second-degree murder, interfering with a body, and illegal possession of a firearm. Our Jamil Donath has been following the case since day one and joins us live in the studio with the concluding story. Jamil?
Dennis, after 5 days in court, attorneys made their final arguments earlier this morning, and the jury came to a verdict after nearly 3 hours of deliberation. This was a relatively speedy trial and a short deliberation, but for the Huseman and Riley family, this all began in July of 2012 when Huseman went missing and parts of his body were later found on Riley's property. But while this is closure for Huseman's family, for Riley's loved ones, this trial has left them with more questions than answers.
We can finally have some closure and justice has been served.
Mark Huseman's entire family filled the courtroom Friday to hear a jury convict Dane Riley of murder.
We knew in our hearts that he was guilty. There was all the evidence pointing right at him.
After 5 days in trial and 3 hours of deliberation, a jury found Riley guilty of killing, burning, and dismembering his own cousin.
We felt that all of the evidence that had been gathered pointed strongly toward the defendant's guilt.
The jury then deliberated on whether to add aggravating factors to Riley's sentence, considering his prior criminal offenses and the particular cruelty in which Huseman was murdered. Riley was found guilty on both counts.
With the defendant's criminal history, we are hopeful that the judge will agree with us that he should be locked up for as long as the statutes provide.
In closing arguments, the defense called the state's case vague and inconclusive at best, with contradicting and unreliable witness testimony.
No hard evidence and a bunch of testimony from a bunch of meth users.
Riley's father, and also a witness in the trial, says the state's evidence against his son is weak and lacking motive.
A piece of cardboard here, a mud flap there, a burn pit with nothing in them but burnt clothes.
But the state was confident with its findings.
The investigation in this matter was an extremely professional and well-done investigation. We felt very strongly about the case going forward.
A closed case for the Huseman family, but for the Rileys, this trial is still an open book.
I want to know what went on. And right now, I'm more confused than I was before.
Now, the defense plans to make an appeal, but they would not comment further on the trial. The state is looking to sentence Riley with a statutory maximum of 40 years in prison. Back to you, Dennis.
Okay, thank you very much, Jamil, for the live report from our studio tonight. Riley's sentencing hearing has yet to be determined. Attorneys will set a date shortly.
If you've enjoyed this segment of Lakeland News, please consider making a tax-deductible contribution to Lakeland Public Television.